Tai Chi kicks are unique because they're so slow. It's a lot easier to kick high when you go fast. So the thing that makes the Tai Chi kicks such a struggle for so many people is that it's so slow. So you really do need both the flexibility and the strength. I'm just gonna do some kicks forward towards you. And if you wanna try to follow along, you can follow along just to kind of experience it. So, toe kick, heel kick, toe kick, in Tai Chi, everything is related to every other thing. So what you do to improve your kicks will also help you improve your rooting, which will also help you improve your breathing and alignments, because it's all part of the same frame and same approach. Most people, when they're trying to do kicks, they think that a kick is a completely different thing than forward walking or backward walking, and it's not. It's not. They're all really part of the same thing. It's just when you do forward walking, your leg advances forward. When you do kick, your leg advances up. So let me just show you the forward walk and the kick again. Okay, so this is our forward walk. And this is our kick. Let's get your kicks just better, without any additional training or exercises. Just with your current ability, let's just get your kicks better. How do we balance better? First thing is, see where your feet are. The feet are the base. So many times when things feel off, it's because your feet are not in the right position. So you can make a little adjustment with your feet position and will make a big difference. Assume, and we're going to practice this way, that the kick is going to go out to the corner. So where should your supporting foot be? So we're going to try this out two ways. Point your supporting foot forward and kick to the diagonal. And just feel what that feels like. You don't have to kick high, just wherever it goes. Just do a kick with your toe pointing forward. Now let that toe point out that side and try to kick to the diagonal. And just do it. See what it feels like. Now, let that toe point out to the other diagonal. Okay, so if you make an angle with your two toes, they would make a 90-degree angle, and then kick. Do that again. Which way feels more stable? Diagonal. Yeah, good. It should be very obviously different. The other thing is that groin. Let that groin collapse and the knee come in, so that when you look down in your foot. The knee is on the inside. You have a zigzag. And make that kick. And then same thing on the other side. This is the position that most people have their knees and their legs, where the groins collapse, the knee comes in. So try and see what that feels like. Now, engage your glute. Just feel that kind of wrapped around. Groin is open. Now, look down and have your knee in one straight line down to your toes. And keep that frame when you kick. Try that the other side too. Foot is out to the diagonal. Engage the glute. Knee aligned with your toes. Feel that frame and kick. You should feel a difference there. Like, it's really hard for us to see things about our bodies, but intuitively, you understand when you see a structure. If there is a straight vertical base, then you know that that is going to provide stability. Like if you see a column and the column is totally straight and vertical, and you see another column and that column comes in at an angle, it goes out at an angle, and you see, you know, something supporting on these two pillars, intuitively you see it and you know that the straight column is going to provide more support than the column that angles, right? Like, I think that everybody just intuitively knows this. But for whatever reason, when it comes to our own bodies, we don't see that. And our knees are in such bad alignment all the time. So, like, I would love if you just constantly peek down and take a look to see, like, where is your knee in alignment to your toes? Like, so many people, they just stand like this, right? It's just so natural for the knees to collapse in. So, like, that is supporting the weight of your body. Like, when you see that in a column, you will think that that is really bad, right? So that's true for your legs too. Your knees, if they collapse in, you know, there's way too much pressure on it. So if you can get those knees to be in alignment, then you don't have the same pressure on your knees, but also your whole weight is better supported. So that's true when you have both feet on the floor, right? The difference between this and this, I just kind of feel like this is wrapped around and the knee is over. And it's also true when you want to come into a kick. So let that glute feel wrapped around, the knee is in line, and then you'll be able to kick better, right? Oh, the glute wrapped around means like the muscles here feel like they're wrapping around to the back. So when you wrap it around to the back, it pulls your leg out and it also opens up your groin. Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. The knee is controlled by what happens here. So it's not about pushing the knees out, right? it's about like thinking the knee is connected to this area here. So when this area wraps around to the back, and you can use your hands and just make that motion to see what it feels like inside. Now, the part that I think is not as intuitive, that takes a little bit more time, but is so worth it because this is so crucial. If you can get this, then you will improve balance no matter what you do, is maintaining this alignment with the pelvis tuck. What is the biggest problem I see in people is when they go in for the kick, they lose the pelvis tuck. They're trying to lift their knee so high that, and they're trying to bring their kick up so high that they are losing this alignment. You're losing this alignment. So this part just requires you to just scale things back. Just scale it back a lot. So you just feel your knee comes up only to the point where you can still maintain this pelvis tuck. So it's like there's no change from your pelvis, your hips up. No change in the position when the knee comes up. Keep the supporting leg a little bit bent. Remember, in order to keep the pelvis tucked, the knees have to be just a little bit bent. You can't have straight legs and a tucked pelvis. They just don't go together. You don't have to go down too low, but you need to have a little bit of a bend so that the pelvis can tuck. So just practice only bringing the knee up until like it just kind of naturally ends. If you brought it up any higher, then you would lose this frame. And then a kick is just an extension from the knee. So go low. All right, so we're just going to practice this a few times. All right. And we're going to do this with heels together, toes point out. So first, making sure supporting foot angles out to the diagonal. Wrap that glute around so that when you peek down, your knee is in a straight line right over the toes, keeping your pelvis tucked. Spread that weight across your feet. Don't let the weight sink into your heels. Spread that weight across. Only pick up your knee until it can't go up anymore. Maintaining that pelvis tuck. And then straighten from the knee. And then down. Other way. Toe out. Wrap the glute. Groin open. Knees in line. Supporting knees a little bit bent. Pelvis stays tucked the whole time. All right. So that part of it was to just help you keep better balance and just let those kicks be easier without doing any additional training. We didn't do any extra exercises, right? We just with your own current ability to just be able to do it better. Before we go into the next part, you don't need to kick high. A lot of people want to be able to kick high, but you don't actually need to kick high. Kicks are much more effective low, to be honest. Don't feel like oh, I need to kick high for my Tai Chi to be considered good, because that's just not true. Taking out someone's leg and kicking someone in the groin, those are the two most effective things that you can do. A high kick is relative to your ability, right? Like maybe instead of a high kick, a higher kick. Like maybe your kick is at a certain level right now and you want to get it higher. So if you want to achieve a higher kick, there's still some things that you need to do that's the same as doing a low kick. So I'm just going to show you the kicks that I do high. And again, just look at the body position. Supporting leg to the diagonal. Knee in line with the toes. Pelvis is tucked. Body is straight. Pelvis stays tucked. Pelvis stays tucked. My body stays straight. Right? There's like no difference in low versus high in terms of body position. Low. Show you high. Like if you were to kind of crop my leg out of the picture and just showed the picture of my head and body and the other leg, it should look the same, whether it's low or high. And that's the key thing. Before you can train your leg to kick higher, you need to first know what is the upper limit that you can kick. The first thing is you need to know what is the upper limit to how high your knee can come up with your pelvis tucked. So, like you can do it by bringing your leg up. So this is like a stretch. And you don't have to pull this foot across. You can, bring it out to the side. So this is really just to see what's the upper limit. The flexibility in your groin, keeping the pelvis tucked. You need to find the limit. Now, the next thing is seeing from there, right? Now you know how high your knee can go. Now, if you can just, you might need to hold on for support. Take your foot and give yourself a support and bring it up. This is your maximum. Like you will not be able to physically kick higher than this. I'm not saying you can actually kick that high. I'm saying you can't kick higher than that. So, finding the limit of where that knee can go, and then giving that support. Okay, so for me, notice I'm not kicking that high. But in my kick, I'm not kicking that high. That's my limit. So I need to know what is the maximum. Like if I'm aiming for higher than that, it's just not realistic. How high your knee will go, this is flexibility. So if your knee will only go up here, then, your kick will only go up there. Do more of these stretches to stretch this out in your groin. The higher you can get this up, the higher you'll be able to kick. Can't straighten it. So then you have the flexibility. Your limiting factor is strength. So how do you then get it from bent knee to straight? That here now is strength. Flexibility too in the stretch, but a lot of strength here. If you are able to just get your knee all the way up, you've got all this flexibility. So for you to stretch out more, that's not actually going to help you with your kicks. If the problem is going from here to here, that's now your strength. So you need to increase that strength. So one of the best things, and this is what we used to do in our training, was just to hold the kicks. You will feel such a burn. So you can hold on for support and then just get yourself into a kick and just hold. Hold. You will feel it, and then you will notice that the leg is going to drop and start dropping and try to keep it as straight as you can. Right? You're going to feel it burning. And just hold it and give yourself a goal, maybe 10 seconds. And then maybe increase that up to 15 seconds. Try to hold it as long as you can. So, those are the two things that can help. I think that another thing that goes a long way that people don't talk about is your confidence and your ability to relax into the movement, because kicks cause people so much anxiety. So many people are so worried about losing balance that they tense up, and then that causes them to lose balance. So if you know the position, the frame, the flow, then your confidence in your ability to kick increases so that you can relax into the movement, which will then improve your kick so much. You wanted to kick faster, make a cool snap noise. That's a different kick. We can do that kick too. And you can try doing opposite. Same on the other side. You can try doing same. You can try doing opposite. Yeah. So, it's generally slapping the foot, but a lot of people, they're slapping their thigh. The more you understand how to maintain your frame, how to keep your rooting, your centering, your alignment, then when you add in these fast motions, it doesn't throw off your center and your balance, right? Because like this motion here, fast, shouldn't affect your alignment, right? The only thing is, instead of coming slow, it's coming fast and you're tapping it. So the better you understand your rooting and your alignment, the more stable you'll be with anything that you do. If it's walking, if it's kicking slow, kicking fast. Right? And then like the lotus kicks that I do, it's still the same. Not that much different to doing this front slap kick. It's just I'm adding a circle to the end. Even though it's like the legs make this whip around and the arms make this whip around, my body stays still. So if you take a look at the positioning from my head to my feet, it's still what we were working on before, right? This is still tucked, body is still straight. A really important takeaway is don't let these things that seem like they're intimidating cause you to not be able to do them because you think they're intimidating. the more you can relax into it and just feel confident and comfortable with it, the better it will be.